That's how you do pulled beef barbecue. Lee barbecue smoker style right there. Don't that look so good? Today I'm gonna show you how to make pulled beef barbecue sandwiches out of a chuck roast. That's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna trim it, how we're gonna season it, and then how we're gonna cook it. So let's get to prepping so we can get to cooking. So before we do any seasoning on chuck roast here, I do need to do a little bit of trimming here. Not very much, just a little bit. If you notice here on the back side of here, you got some of this little sinew and some of that silver skin on the back side here where they cut the chuck roast off. I'm gonna take my knife and I wanna go underneath this right here number and just kind of cut it back a little bit. So that sinew right there is not really gonna help us this sinew here is not gonna help us. It's actually gonna make it tough. So I'm gonna take that little bit, and like you see, there ain't much meat I'm taking off in there, just a little bit. I just wanna expose that some. I'm not gonna take this little chunk of fat off here because I want it for the moisture in there. And I'm gonna come on this side right here. I'm gonna do the same thing right here. Kind of cut it down a little bit. Like I said, I ain't taking much meat off here. I just get that little sinew off. So now we got this here trimmed up here. I'm gonna start putting my seasoning on there. What I'm using is my all-purpose seasoning, SPG. Salt, pepper, garlic. Just gonna take this right here number and go across the top of it. This is kind of a heavy here. So I'm gonna take it and keep going around the edges. And then do the back side. Pat it in. So I'm gonna take this here, I'm gonna set this in the refrigerator here about 30 minutes here. I want this salt here to get down to the meat because you can see the thickness of this chuck roast right here. So I want that seasoning to kind of penetrate down into that meat some and also tenderize it some. So we're gonna set this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Then we'll put this here on Rectech 1250 and start cooking it. All right, so I want y'all to look at something over here. We just took this chuck roast out of the refrigerator here. It's been about 30 minutes here. I want you to look right here. What do you see right here? You see black pepper and you see garlic granules. That's what you see. What you don't see on the meat is the salt. You see it here on the fat. You can see the little shiny pieces right here on the fat here. But you do not see that on the meat. The reason for that is that salt, that meat here, the moisture of it has dissolved that salt and basically just sucked it right down into that chuck roast. So it's down deep into that chuck roast here. That's gonna get the flavor down into this piece of meat. It also is gonna tenderize it. That salt's gonna act as a tenderizer a little bit. We're using our Rectech 1250 today. Now you got a blend of 100% royal oak charcoal pellet and also the ultimate blend from Rectech pellets. It gives a really good combination, that charcoaly flavor and that wood flavor from the wood pellets and the charcoal from the charcoal pellets. Awesome. If you haven't tried that out, you need to check it out. It's a really, truly great combination. That being stated, let's go get this on the grill. Let's get this party started. We're about 45 minutes into the cook. So I'm gonna give you an idea of what we got going on chuck roast. Also, if you notice here to the left, we got some barbecue shotgun shells. I have a little link up there in the card for this video. This ought to be a lot of fun. So stick around, we'll be right back. Hey, so it's been about 2.5 hours. Our chuck roast is probably around 165 here. We're gonna double check it again. But I'm gonna pull it off, put it in a half pan with some beef stock, and I'm gonna wrap it up in tinfoil and keep cooking it. So let's get off the grill and show what we got going on. I know, by the way, see our shotgun shells? None of these will be good. We're probably right here with 160 there, 170 there at the end, 161. We're close enough in my window that I've got all my smoke I'm gonna get on here, so I'm putting this half pan right here. Got some beef stock right here. I'm just gonna put it right all the way around it. Wrap it really good and tight in tinfoil, put it right back on. We keep checking this about another 2 hours though. I expect it to be around temperature I'm looking for, around 200, 208. I want this to be fork tender. That's what we're looking for with this beef. Let's see where it probes at. Feels like butter. It's around 210, 208, 210, but it feels like room temperature butter. So I'm gonna pour this bad boy here off. I'm gonna carry it inside. I'm gonna let it rest a few minutes. We're gonna make us some barbecue sandwiches. So stick around, we'll be right back. So I've got chuck roast resting over there. We'll start making our coleslaw to put on our beef barbecue sandwiches. So what we're gonna do is gonna be a simple recipe. Some cilantro, and a little bit of lime juice, some green peppers, about 1/3 of a red onion. I'll make some coleslaw, mix it up some Duke's mayonnaise, some Crema, just kind of mix it all together. So I'm gonna go put this in the refrigerator and let it rest a while. In a little while when our chuck roast kind of calms down enough, we feel like we can start tearing it apart, then we'll pull this out and make some barbecue sandwiches. Now, if we've allowed this chuck roast to rest in the Cambro for about 1.5 hours, I want to take that time to absorb the moisture from the au jus back into the chuck roast. That way when I pull it apart and make sure it's good and moist. So first thing I'm doing, I'm gonna start separating this. Most of the time a chuck roast is about 3 different muscles. You take your follow the vein right there. You got one muscle there, you got one muscle on the back side right here, you got one muscle right here. So again, not necessarily getting a lot of meat out of here, but we're gonna have enough good beef barbecue sandwiches. We just wanna take it and just shred it apart. You can use a fork if you want to, or you can use them shredding shears. And as you can see the tenderness of it, that's what we're looking for. We cut this for the tenderness, so I wanted to be able to pull apart like this. That's the whole process. We want to smoke it, get that smoky flavor from the recteq, from the charcoal pellets and the wood pellets, and have us a good pulled beef sandwich. That's what the whole ball game was. See that smoke ring right here? That's what you get in that salt brine we had. The salt dug into the meat, and that chemical reaction with the smoke created a good smoke ring right here. So now I'm gonna sit here and make my barbecue sandwich right here. I'm gonna get a handful of my beef right here, put it right on top of it, just on a hamburger bun, right here. Get a spoonful of the goodness coleslaw we got right here. Put it right on top of that. Put a bun right there. That's how you do pulled beef barbecue, Lee barbecue smoker style, right there. It looks good, don't it? Let's taste this bad boy and see what it tastes like. Come on. All right, this looks really good here. We're gonna do a taste test right now. I know y'all excited. I'm excited. I'm so ready for this. You ready? God, I wish I would taste this. Let's see what it tastes like. That's delicious. In the beef, you taste that SPG rub he had. It really brings out the flavor in the beef. On top of that, our coleslaw right here with the onions in it, the cilantro, the lime, the coleslaw, again with that Crema sauce and the mayonnaise is mixed together. It just brings a whole different level to it. It's just kind of a flavorful, just a mouthful of flavor because it just pops in every direction. You really can't go wrong with it. It's a simple recipe, but the results is unbelievable. But you gotta make sure when you take a chuck roast, you keep cooking it. When you think it's tender, you keep cooking it. You want that thing to feel like it's room temperature butter. Because if you don't, it won't be quite so tender. This is what you get when you cook it really tender. Basically overcook it. That's what we done. That's what the intention was. So I'd recommend this recipe. This is a 10 out of 10 recipe. It's something that you need to try. Take a chuck roast. It's not that expensive. And results, man, it's unbelievable. Come on. Come on. Come on. Dolly liked it. I reckon Dolly like it. You will too. And I say the blessing. Lord, bless food by receive. Just and pray. Amen. Give me another bite. Good Lord, that's good. Thank y'all watching. Try this recipe. It's good. That's how you do beef barbecue, Lee barbecue smoker style right here. Don't that look good?